guys, like, this tea is just so hot. Oh my God, this tea is just so hot. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tiana. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back. And for those of you who have not been here yet, this is a YouTube channel dedicated to anti-MLM content. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified every time I post a video. Today, I want to talk about kind of a serious topic. And to me, I feel like I want to tread very lightly, but I also feel it's important to call out some of the unethical business practices of Monat Global, Alcora Corp, and BNR Products, and how they are trying to sugarcoat these legal proceedings that they're going through to not just their market partners and potential customers, but they are also actively trying to silence people that are working to share these legal proceedings with the public. It's publicly available information, and you can find all of these legal documents online, and I'll be sure to link them down below so you can spend time reading them through yourself. But I think it's just really important to note how the company is downplaying like everything that they're going through right now, and how they are talking to their market partners as if there is no problem here nor there. They are referring to it as quote unquote boring legal stuff. And it's not boring, you guys. This is far from boring. Please stick around because there is a lot to cover in this video, but there are some receipts, there is some tea, and there is some drama to be spilled. So I am going to do my best to lay it all out for you guys. Not really like, I want to get into, I'm gonna like share this legal stuff, but I'm really going to highlight this timeline of events and how we've really gotten up to this moment today, and how we've actually gotten to the point of the president and the chief legal officer of Monat going out of their way to what appears to be, I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but it appears to be that they are going out of their way to harass, intimidate former Monat users and people who are speaking out about the company and people who are trying to share these public legal documents. So again, like I said, there's a lot of tea to be spilled here, and there's a lot to be said. So this is probably going to be quite a long video, but I promise you, I promise, if you stick around, the tea is hot, like really hot. So let's jump into it. Yeah, let's just jump into it. So I kind of took some notes in like an order of events in which things took place. Yeah, if anybody sees anything that I've put like out of place, please correct me in the comments. But as far as I'm aware, I have a pretty decent grip and timeline of events and how we got to where we are now, in which yeah, Monat literally referred to Kimbyrleigha as that woman in her video in which they tried to demonetize and get taken off the web because she shared publicly available legal documents that they don't want to come out. So they don't want them to come out, but let's let them come out, you guys. Let's let them come out and let people decide for themselves whether or not it's boring legal stuff, because I think that if your market partners see what's really in those legal documents that they don't want them to see, they might not think it's so boring after all. So I want to start this video by going back to 2018 when the start of these class action lawsuits started to happen, and people started to report that they were experiencing hair loss with Monat, sores on their scalp. They had trouble with customer service, all of that stuff, but like clinically, like health stuff. There were a lot of people who were coming out and saying that they were experiencing these problems with Monat, and that Monat was using strong arm legal tactics to try and silence them.
Women across the country say a brand of hair care products that claim to make hair thicker, younger looking, and fuller can actually do just the opposite. But consumers and stylists who speak out about their negative experiences say the manufacturer is trying to silence them.
I was very nervous to say anything because of the backlash I have seen of other people that spoke out about what was happening.
In 4 recently filed class action lawsuits against Monat, the company is accused of using strong-arm legal tactics to silence critics. The Federal Trade Commission's Consumer Review Fairness Act protects consumers' ability to share their honest opinions about a business's products, services, or conduct in any forum, including social media. But that's not enough. This request for a restraining order against Monat has been filed in South Florida, asking a court to protect consumers against Monat's threats, harassment, and intimidation.
So I think that sets the stage for the fact that this company is not afraid to play dirty when it comes to dealing with people who are speaking out about their company. Like I said, I'm going to tread very lightly, but all of this stuff is publicly available information. Well, not all of it. Some of it's receipts, and I got some receipts, baby. But as far as the legal documents go, this is all publicly available information. So I am not sharing anything that's like a secret document. Like, again, you guys can find these legal proceedings online. So flash forward to October 23rd, 2019, Monat makes a motion to dismiss these legal proceedings, and they tried to frame this motion to dismiss as a win, and I promise you guys, this was not a win. I think that they likely, maybe paid Business Wire to write this nice article about how the judge said this, and this, and whatever, but it's glossed over. If you really look at the document, you find that this was not a win at all for Monat, far from a win for Monat. So I want to kind of highlight or run through some of the big key takeaways from this legal document that I think really sets the stage for where we are in August 2020, because this isn't over. This is not over, baby. And for the company to act like what's happening now is, no, it's just when we had this big boom in 2016, 2017, you guys, it's bubby mice. It is bubby mice. And for those of you who don't know what bubby mice is, it's a tall tale. It's a Hebrew thing. It's bubby mice. It's some bubby mice, you guys. So let's breeze through this. Sorry, it might take a minute, but again, this is important stuff that really sets the stage for today. So defendants Monat Global, Alcora Corporation, and B&R Products comprise a family-controlled beauty conglomerate that designs, manufactures, markets, and distributes the 8 hair treatment systems at issue in this action. Alcora, which is the umbrella corporation for Monat and B&R, is owned, controlled, and operated by the Urdaneta family. For those of you who don't know, the Urdaneta family owns Monat, Alcora, B&R Corporation. The products, they contain the same 4 key ingredients: Proctine, Rejuvenique, Capixyl, and Crotasorb. And the key ingredients are a proprietary mix of several ingredients that are not listed in the products. So in their marketing material, the defendants represent that the products are clinically tested and proven to promote hair growth, prevent aging, and reduce hair loss. Defendants claim, among other things, that the key ingredients reduce the production of hormones, contributing to thinning hair and increase follicle strength. In addition, the defendant's marketing material states that the products are approved by the FDA and do not contain any toxic ingredients such as parabens, sulfates, cyclic silicones, BHT, DEA, polyethylene glycol, phthalates, Liss petroleum mineral paraffin wax, blah, blah, blah. And despite defendants' representations to the contrary, the products contain several harsh chemicals, including cocamidopropylbetaine. Can't read, you guys. Not a scientist, but it's in there. Benzyl alcohol, red clover leaf extract, butylene glycol, ethanol, and sulfates. The defendant's marketing material includes before and after photos depicting customers with unruly hair before the use of products and long shiny hair after use, but these photos are stock images purchased by the defendants, not real customers. You guys, again, this is in 2019. They're saying that Monat's using stock photos. that their key ingredients has a list of, their 4 key ingredients is really a bunch of ingredients that aren't listed, and that their products do contain harsh chemicals and things that they claim that it doesn't have, okay? It says it right here, okay? Like, I'm not saying it, this is saying it, okay? So it continues on to say that by 2016, the BBB had over 825 complaints by customers, over 630 related to the products. And in addition, between 2017, or August 29, 2017 and March 27, 2019, the FDA received 237 adverse incident reports from customers related to the products. Like the BBB complaints, the FDA adverse incident reports indicate that the products caused the customer's hair loss, head sores, and severe skin reactions. So there is a line that explicitly says in here, even about the detox process, you guys, Monat's president later acknowledged that the purported detoxification process was not scientifically supported. So he knew that it wasn't scientifically supported, and he allowed all of his market partners and everybody to run rampant and tell everybody that this detox process was scientifically supported. We move on. In March of 2018, the FDA inspected Monat's property and found that there were unsanitary conditions and that some of their products could have been contaminated. This isn't like a brand new thing. Like, they have been dealing with this we're just in the middle of 2020. This says up until March 2019. Like, they're still receiving things. And I also would like to point out that as of April 2020, there is another lawsuit that has been opened up against Monat. Okay, so now let's get into the allegations that the plaintiffs are making, Monat's motion to dismiss that allegation, and whether or not the court agrees or disagrees with the defendant, which is Monat. So the plaintiffs contend that the products were defective in their design, manufacturing warnings, and these alleged defects form the basis of the plaintiffs' claims for strict liability, negligence, and unjust enrichment, and breach of express and implied warranty. In their motion, defendants argue that the plaintiffs failed to adequately allege the existence of a defect in the products. The court disagrees. So the court disagrees with Monat that the plaintiffs have been able to sufficiently prove that there has been a defect in their product. Okay, so right off the bat, the court disagrees with Monat. So following up, it says, plaintiffs also allege that the products suffer a manufacturing defect due to unsanitary conditions at the defendant's facilities, and because the defendants failed to inspect source ingredients for contamination. These allegations are sufficient to plead a manufacturing defect. So those allegations are sufficient enough for the plaintiffs to claim a manufacturing defect against Monat. Finally, the plaintiffs allege that the product's warnings were defective because the defendants knew the products were causing hair loss and skin lesions, but failed to disclose those risks to consumers. And indeed, the plaintiffs contend that the defendants obscured the risk of harm by falsely stating that the product's negative side effects were due to body detoxing. These allegations are sufficient to state a claim for failure to warn. Causation. Defendants also argue that the plaintiffs failed to adequately allege that the products caused them bodily harm. The court disagrees. So Monat is trying to say that that the plaintiffs, the people who are suing Monat, can't prove that Monat was the cause of their harm, and the court disagrees with Monat.
Hi guys, so I just want to clarify something. This doesn't necessarily mean that the plaintiffs won the case. It just means that the plaintiffs are able to move forward with the claims that they are making within this legal proceeding, and that Monat wasn't able to contest the claims that they were making, whether it be that this isn't actually the stage in the litigation process that's done, or they just genuinely were not able to contest it as there was evidence that showed otherwise.
Okay, bad news for Monat. Like all around this, bad news for Monat, bad news for Monat, bad news for Monat. So explain to me how they could try and pass this off as a win, right? How could they try to pass this off as a win? But they did. And there was like nothing really said about it. One little article in Business Wire and that's it. And they tried to pass this off as a win, you guys. So here's where Monat wins. The one part in which they're able to dismiss is the plaintiff's something like injunctive relief, okay? Plaintiffs ask the court to enjoin defendants' unlawful practices. The defendants argue that the plaintiffs have no constitutional standing to seek injunctive relief. The court agrees. Plaintiffs clearly allege in the complaint that they would not have purchased the products had they known of the harm, and therefore plaintiffs do not intend to purchase the products in the future. So I had to spend a little bit of time like researching what injunctive relief is, and I'll insert a clip of somebody explaining it better.
To start with the basics, what is an injunction? An injunction is a discretionary, equitable remedy. Therefore, it's not a question for the jury. It's primarily preventative in nature, so you don't use an injunction to correct wrongs already done. You don't use injunctions to restore to a party certain rights which have already been deprived. Injunctions look to the future and prevent future acts.
But essentially, if there isn't going to be any future harm done, like if like they're not going to go out and buy the products again, so they like usually it's like to mitigate like future harm. I'm literally like I'm not a lawyer, you guys, but like when you understand like what injunctive relief is, it makes sense, I guess, as to why the injunctive relief wasn't granted.
Okay, you guys, and I also found this online, which states that last week the Second Circuit issued an important published decision holding that previously injured consumers who seek to challenge product labeling lack constitutional standing to pursue claims for injunctive relief and cannot obtain certification of an injunctive relief class under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 23B2. So this even already states right now that they really, like, the plaintiffs in the Monat case, like, they can't really even seek injunctive relief. So for Monat to frame that as a win, it's not a win, right? It's not a win. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but would you consider this a win for Monat or a win for the plaintiffs? Also, sorry to keep talking over clips, but I wanted to make sure I included this part. Essentially, B&R Corporation is the research and development lab that I assume makes Monat stuff. They also say that they do private label things as well and whatnot. But essentially, this court document states that the plaintiffs are able to move forward and not only just sue Monat and their parent corporation Alcora, but they're also able to sue the B&R Products Corporation because they are also owned by the Urdaneta family and it is considered a joint venture. So this is another win for the plaintiffs because they're not able to just specifically sue Monat and Alcora, but they're also able to sue B&R Products as well. And it's crazy because it says that, as described above, the complaint sets forth specific misrepresentations by B&R's chairman, Luis Urdaneta, its CEO, Rainer Urdaneta, and its vice president of research and development, Jamie Ross, about the safety and efficacy of the products.
So essentially, in conclusion, based on the foregoing, it is ordered and adjudged that the defendant's motion to dismiss the plaintiff's First Amendment Master Consolidated Class Action complaint is granted in part and denied in part as followed. 1. The plaintiff request for injunctive relief in their FDU, TPA, and alternate states consumer protection claims are dismissed. That's their win. That's their one win.
Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!
2, the remainder of the claims may proceed as pled. So defectiveness, or like literally like all the things that like, right? And then 3, defendants shall answer the first amended master consolidated class action complaint within 20 days of the date of this order. So one portion was removed, which was their motion for injunctive relief. So now that we kind of got like the big highlight points out of that 2019 motion to dismiss that Monat definitely didn't win, like, no. Let us move on to the rest of the timeline of events because shit gets weird, you guys. Okay, so flash forward to August 2020. The MLM Police releases these documents that are the voluntary compliance agreement that Monat has entered into with the Attorney General of Florida. Kimbyrleigha then takes this document, and I think it was in a live stream, and she kind of runs through it and reads it, and they talk about what they're seeing in this document.
They will stop making these direct claims, I'm calling them claims, but you just read what they are, endorsements and whatnot, based upon things that are not scientifically proven. And not just that, but from competent and reliable scientific evidence that's generally accepted in the scientific fields when considered in light of the entire body of relevant and reliable scientific evidence to substantiate that the representation is true. So if it's not true in the sense of competent and reliable scientific evidence, they can't portray that. So that's really big in my opinion.
Now, after Kimber releases her video, Monat is triggered. Like, when I say triggered, they're triggered. It's obvious they're triggered. So Monat goes and issues a statement to their directors, their SEDs, and states this in writing, okay, in literal writing. Dear directors, I am sure that many of you are now familiar with some of the noise associated with our agreement of voluntary compliance with the Florida Attorney General. As I told the SEDs in our call last week, we have been working with the Florida AG for over 2 years on issues related primarily to 2017 and early 2018, when Monat experienced the first burst of explosive growth and our infrastructure struggled to keep up with such growth. Since that time, we have invested massively in new systems, added new people and expertise, and totally overhauled many of our business practices to address that growth and future growth. I also told the SEDs that these types of AG investigations almost always end with a civil penalty imposed against the company. However, Monat settled its 2-year investigation with no civil penalty. Now back to the noise. The cool thing about the internet is the truth never seems to get in the way of a good story. And if you waste your time, you can find some good stories about Monat and the ABC. One of the better stories is a YouTube video, more than an hour long, by someone trying to interpret the ABC. This internet noise will claim that Monat can't say that our products are vegan, not true, or that we can't claim that the benefits of our products are scientifically proven. Again, not true. The ABC requires that any claim we make must be supported by competent and reliable scientific evidence, but that is what reputable companies do. They rely on competent and reliable scientific evidence to support their product claims. That is one reason why I encourage all of you to train your downlines to rely on company-approved claims and to not go off the reservation by ever making medical claims or claims not supported by competent and reliable scientific evidence. There is a method to my madness. The attached document for me has a few more facts about the ABC. If you want the good stories, divorced from the facts, it's on the internet and YouTube. As always, thank you for everything you do, positively touch some, whatever. Signed, Mr. Thomas J. Houlihan.
You may think that I'm this nice guy who is, what did I say earlier, dynamic and entertaining. I prefer to the Tom Houlihan who encourages, who mentors, who trains, and who is excited for your success. I would prefer not to be the iron fist. I much prefer the velvet glove, but I'll go there if I have to.
Now, I think Tom Houlihan doesn't want you to know the facts. If you want something that's divorced from the facts, you can go to the guy that's trying to sugarcoat and lie to the market partners so that they don't lose business, right? And not only that, so they post this and they flag Kimber's video and they try to get her demonetized and they don't want this public information out. This is where stuff gets weird. And if you are the president of a company or the chief legal officer of a company, I wouldn't think it would be in your best interest to be trying to get in touch with people like this and to try to reach out to people like this, especially when you know that their interest isn't in favor of your company. I don't know what could be your goal as someone like in a position of power within a company to be reaching out to somebody in this capacity. And if anybody could explain it to me, that would be amazing, because to me, I find it wholly inappropriate. And I think it's a sign that they're scared, that they're shook, and they don't want this information out. So the harder that they don't want this information out, I think it's important that we talk about it more and that we really share it, because they're gonna get away with being slime balls, and not on my watch, baby. Not on my, my watch isn't like not on this watch, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit there and watch somebody sugarcoat something to market partners who, some of them are my friends. Like, I have friends in Monat, and you know, they know how I feel about Monat, and I know how they feel about Monat, and I have agreed to never like use my homies' things like in my videos and whatnot. But like, this is important. Like, this is the way that like people that I know, even personally, are being misled by somebody who just wants to sugarcoat things, and they don't want the truth to come out. They really don't want the truth to come out, and I think it's really important that the truth comes out. So continuing on, this is when it starts to get weird. Monat posts this thing, and then they have a director's meeting with SEDs.
Okay, so I addressed this, I think, in that Facebook Live with the lead-in, or the Facebook the Facebook post with the lead-in. But you did. You will hear that we can't claim we're vegan. We can't claim the benefits of our products. That's absolutely false. It's wrong. Flat out wrong. What we are required to do is any claim we make, like every company, we've got to make sure that the claims that we make are based on competent and reliable scientific data. And that's what we do with Laura and her group. That's what we do with,
in which they address again more of the internet noise, say it's boring legal stuff, and they refer to Kimber as that woman. That woman, okay? Which is insulting in itself. Moving forward, Stuart McMillan, okay? Stuart McMillan of Monat sends a friend request on Facebook to the woman who runs the MLM Police. Why? Why would Stuart McMillan be trying to personally friend request the woman who runs the MLM Police account? And not to the MLM Police account, but to her personal, private Facebook page. Why? I'm trying to figure out why. That's weird, and that's unprofessional, right? That's not even the tip of the iceberg. You guys, why, right? Start there. Why? Moving forward, Stuart McMillan goes and makes some Instagram posts. Let us read them. He posts this one, in which it is a photo of like some sand temple, like a sand sculpture temple, whatever. And he says, I saw a photo of this sand sculpture and I thought of the many hours it must have taken to build. The effort, hard work, and careful attention to detail that went into it must have been amazing. Building something, whether it is a sandcastle, a garden, a building, a business, or life for your family, are not only incredible feats to be admired, they are builders of us personally. When you are focused on building, you are focused on the positive. You are focused on creating. More often than not, you're creating and building that for others to get to share and get value from. Then there are the destroyers. Oh, yeah. Hey. This sand art could be destroyed in moments by somebody with no skill whatsoever other than their desire to knock it down. These destroyers are everywhere. They are not particularly skillful, other than being able to take beautiful things that people are gaining pleasure from and doing everything in their power to knock them down. I feel sad for destroyers. Where builders focus on the positive, destroyers focus on the negative. How sad life must be for people whose purpose is centered around tearing down that which others have built. I am glad to be a builder, aren't you? Builders need to stay together. Builders need to reinforce each other's positivity. Builders need to encourage each other. Builders need to congratulate each other. Builders, when they recognize the hard work and effort that went into building, business or creation, even if it isn't particularly helpful or attractive to us. Why? Because builders are your kin. They are positive. They are persistent. They are creative. Those are the people I want to be around. Don't give the destroyers a foothold in your life. Speaking to myself this weekend, they may eventually see the joy that emanates from you and the people around you, so make sure that they aren't empowered to change your joy to anything negative, or they may not. Either way, I feel sorry for them, all that focus on the negative. I choose to build, I choose a positive purpose, I choose joy, and I choose to be a light. Let's unpack that briefly. He's basically saying that he feels really sorry for the anti-MLM community and that it's sad because all we want to do is destroy people who are building their life. Wrong. No. We are trying to stop people from entering a system that systematically takes advantage of them, that seeks to recruit people who are disadvantaged. It looks for the poorest people in the community. It looks for the people who are so desperate to make a buck. It looks for the people who don't have friends and it looks for those people and it targets those people specifically. And it takes advantage of them. It's predatory. It manipulates them. This has nothing to do with people wanting to destroy other people's dreams. Like, I think if we really do watch my channel enough to know that I support small businesses, I support people who are actively in pursuit of their dreams. But when you enter a business model in which 99% of people lose money, there is no way that that could be seen as a positive investment, a positive use of your money, a positive use of your time. So to say that people who are warning people about the risks of joining these companies, it's that we're destroyers or whatever, it's just you know what I mean? That's not true, but it's the same thing that MLM uplines say to their downline is to drop their friends and family, their haters, whatever. It's the same thing. It comes from the top. Oh, you're haters. Wrong. Not a hater. Not a hater. Just don't like being manipulated and don't like watching other people be manipulated. And when it's so apparent in front of your eyes and you see just the desperation in people being taken advantage of, it's just, how do you sleep at night, right? Flash forward. So Stuart posts this and then follows the MLM Police on Instagram. Okay, again, Stuart McMillan of Monat follows the MLM Police on Instagram. Now, this is to her business account or MLM, anti-MLM account, not to now her personal one, but to her anti-MLM account. Okay, tries to follow her on Instagram. She then comments, "Did you choose to be a light when you friend requested me?" On Facebook. He responds, "Always," to which she responds, "You should practice what you preach, Stu." To which he responds, "Message me, Courtney, and we can talk." So it's clear he knows her name, okay? So now he has just called out the MLM Police on her anti-MLM account as Courtney. So he knows it's Courtney, okay? So I think that's something that we should establish. He knows it's her. The MLM police then responds, "We can talk here, Stu." To which the MLM police gets blocked by Stuart McMillan. So weird, right? So he sends her a friend request on Facebook. He's talking in this negative light about how anti-MLM people want to destroy, how, you know, they try to tear down. He chooses to be a light. She asks him if he chose to be a light. When he friend requested her, he says, "Always, like, sure." And yeah, so going from there, so he follows her. He says that he blocks her. Like, MLM police, like, got the receipts, baby. So that then happens and she gets blocked. Now this, you guys, is where I really want to make sure I tread lightly, but the MLM police gets a DM from an anonymous Instagram. It's got 0 followers, 0 posts, following 0 people. You know, this is like, it's just got like a whatever username. And she gets these messages, okay? Now, I'm gonna read you these messages from start to finish. And I'm going to explain what I did to get to the conclusions that I am thinking that happened here. And you guys, like, this tea is just so hot. Oh my god, this tea is just so hot. Yeah, let's read these messages that the MLM police was getting to her inbox. Okay, from a private Instagram account. And remember, we established that Stuart knows Courtney's name, which, if we can allude that, like, if Stuart knows Courtney's name, it is likely that Tom knows Courtney's name. It is likely that the whole Urdaneta family knows Courtney's name. And, you know, not like in an, I'm not trying to say like in an intimidating factor, but like it is intimidating, like when you are doing your part to speak out and people with a lot of money and a lot of power are trying to silence and intimidate you. But these are the messages that the MLM police received from this private Instagram account. So it starts off, "Hey, Courtney sent me to you. I got something for you." To which she responds, question mark. Courtney blank, I'm going to cut it out. I don't want to dox the MLM police. My friend who sent you the Zoom recording. Haha, sorry if I'm confusing you. To which Courtney responds, "You're not making any sense." To which the anonymous account says, "Did she not send you that? She said she did." So he's I don't know, is referring to the Zoom recording that the SEDs got on, in which he addresses the boring legal stuff and calls Kimber that woman. So MLM police responds, "Do you need something or are you just fishing?" They respond, "Yeah, I need to know who sent that Zoom call link and email of the new products. You would be helping bring the company down. Let's turn them into compliance." Also, the MLM police got the new product launch in advance and like shared it with everybody, which is just funny. So we like know what the new products are. So they're salty that not only had she had access to their private directors meeting, but they're salty that she knew about the products, and they want to know who the mole is, but she's not here to give up the mole, baby. So she says, "Why? I'm not giving out my sources to some random account that has 0 followers." The person says, "I had to create a fake one. I don't want to get dragged into the legal stuff. I am actually an attorney." To which she responds, "Prove it." They said, "I won't because I can risk my business. I thought I would help, but never mind." Now, why would a lawyer be going and messaging Courtney privately asking for who's giving her up, who the mole is that's giving her up the information on product launches and getting her into directors meetings? Who would want to know that information, right? She responds, "Okay, bye." And they say, "Please don't be hateful. I was just trying to help." She says, where's the hate? They say, if that person gets terminated from the company, then that's one less Monat girl, especially if they're at the top. Like trying, you know what I mean? Like trying to be like, hey, like if you just get rid of it, like if you give up who the confidant is, like it's one less girl that you have to deal with. Like, no, nice try, right? To which the MLM police responds, Tom, is that you? I just asked Courtney and she didn't send anything. And he responds, yes, she did. Tom, question mark? And I'm referring to this person as a he, but I mean, like, it could be a she, right? It could be an it, right? The person says, she doesn't know me personally. It was through DM. And she responds, the MLM police, are you Tom Houlihan? Tom Houlihan, as in like, of Monat, Tom Houlihan. The person responds, no, I don't even know who that is, ... You mean to tell me somebody wants to take down Monat from the inside, but they don't know who Tom Houlihan is? I mean, come on, Bubby Mice. They then send a picture of the MLM Police's private, personal Facebook account, a screenshot of it, to the MLM Police. Her, oh wait, am I talking to Courtney right now? Trying to play stupid. She sends these hands up. OMG, sorry if I'm confusing you. I don't know if it's you I'm talking to right now. She says, good job, welcome to the conversation. Now, why did you start out lying to me, Tom? So it's clear by these messages, Courtney feels as though it's Tom on the other line. It's not confirmed or denied. Again, when I'm telling you the tea's really fucking hot, it's not confirmed or denied, but the MLM police believes that this is Tom Houlihan messaging her. The person responds, sister, I promise I am not Tom, ha 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 ha. Then who are you? They say, my name is Kelly blank. I don't want to out this person either because I fully believe that this person has nothing to do with it. They claim to be a lawyer out of South Carolina named Kelly, and you guys, I called Kelly. I called Kelly's firm, and I spoke to Kelly's mom. And she has nothing to do with this, okay? She has nothing to freaking do with this. I literally spoke to Kelly's mom, okay? So the fact that they would take somebody random, what seems like from the internet, and like a lawyer at that, and like try to jeopardize their credentials is embarrassing. They say, my name is Kelly. I seriously do want to help. Please do not bring my name into this. If you want to help, message me from your real account. Why though? I can't have a track record of being involved. Why not? Prove to me it's you. I told you, I am an attorney. Oh, okay, so I should just believe you even though you started out the conversation by lying to me? That makes sense. You don't have to, it's fine, never mind, ... Okay, I talked to Kelly, she said you aren't Kelly. I talked to Kelly. It's not Kelly. Well, I talked to Kelly's mom. It's not Kelly. Haha, okay, well, wrong Kelly. I doubt that. I'll pay you. Just tell me who the SED was that shared it. That's all I need to know. Not your source, just the girl at the top who shared it. Yes, a lawyer is breaching now into bribery, right? Sounds right. How about you tell me who you are first? I don't appreciate being lied to. He said, I am not lying. My name is Kelly and I live in South Carolina. What's in this for you? The MLM police says. Kelly responds, I'm going to take this company down. I have everything lined up. I've been working on it for years, undercover. One partner at a time. The MLM police says, I don't believe you. Try again. To which they said, I don't know how else to prove it. I just need the SED name. She said, just tell me the truth. This is Tom. They respond, we got to start big and work our way down. People will flip when they're caught. I'll give you her name. No, I'm not Tom. I promise, girl. I'm not lying. Show me proof. I can't get involved in this page. Why not? The firm I work for would kill me. It's a family-owned firm, okay? No, they wouldn't. Her mom is the receptionist. They don't know I am doing this, ... Can you give me a hint? LOL. All right. It was Ray.
Got him! Got him!
Rayer to net, I'm sure is what she's inferring. LOL, yeah, right, exclamation point. So it's funny because this person is trying to play dumb, like they don't know who Tom is, but then the moment you say it was Ray, they miraculously know who Ray is, right? It's fishy that they don't know who Tom is. Who's Tom? What? Girl, sister, I don't know. Who? So she says, and they said, did a top person just post it in their training group or what? Or they sent it straight to you? I don't know. Why don't you lie to me some more? Okay, I don't really have time to do this, but I need to know so I can finish the paperwork I am sending to compliance. I don't need to know your source, just the top person who shared it. She says, picture or it never happened. They said, don't you want them to be terminated? She says, why do you assume I want them to be terminated? They send a picture of Kelly from her law firm, like from her family's law firm page, like literally like it's pulled off of Google. And she says, MLM Police, I believe in a joking manner, says, I accept bribes. At this point, she's being facetious back and forth with this fake account that's trying to get the mole she's trying to basically get the person is trying to get her to expose who is giving her this information. And she says, don't you want the company to go away? That's how you do it. That's me. I'll pay you $20, laughing face. She says, that picture is on Google. Yes, I know. The MLM Police says, I want 10K. They respond, OMG, no, I would never do that, LOL. Sorry. The MLM Police responds. And they say, I'm going to send this paperwork without it. Thanks for not helping. Have a good night. To which she responds, I will. So, like the fucking investigative journalist that I am, you guys, I swear to fucking God, I'm so fucking good. I had an idea. So the MLM Police shared with me these screenshots that I have asked permission from her to share with you guys. And I want to tell you guys what I did. So the internet is a beautiful thing. Forgot my password is a beautiful thing. You guys catching on? So I went to Instagram and I went to the forgot my password page where you can put in your username. Now, anybody who has ever forgotten their password before would know that when you hit forgot my password, it doesn't tell you like what email it's going to or what phone number it's going to or like where the link's going to, but it shows you a portion of where that email is going to, and it stars out the rest of where that email is going to. And I'm not saying that this email is thoulihan@gmail.com. But when you just like do the math and you like count out the stars and like the way things line up, doesn't this look like thoulihan@gmail.com? Doesn't it? Doesn't it look like it could be thoulihan@gmail.com? Like, I'm not saying that that's what that email is, but I'm just saying, like, you know, it's a little ironic, right? That the characters line up and like, you know, given the circumstances, yeah, right? Is this like what? Like what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Literally, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing trying to intimidate people like that? Like, what are you guys doing messaging people like that privately? I mean, I'm not saying it was you guys, like, explicitly, like, whoever it was messaging them, I'm asking that person, like, what are you guys doing? Doing that? Like, that's, like, really embarrassing. And it's unethical, and I think it's like, very poor business like, we already knew Monat had terrible business practices, but, like, it comes from the top, you guys. The people at the top are willing to act like this, in the face of these legal proceedings coming to light and for people sharing them like they have every right to do. And this is the extent that they will go to keeping this under wraps. What is there to hide, right? What is there to hide? Why would you be doing this? Right? Why would you be doing this? Stewart then posts, following up his sandcastle post. Dream stealers are alive and well, but they aren't going to steal this dream. Impact Week will be the coolest thing all of us have ever been a part of. Maxwell Milet, Corden Wilkerson, huge product launches, recognition, 30K in prizes, optional church service with Bruxy Cavey and John Maxwell. 50,000 people from 30 countries, on location from studios in Miami, Toronto, and London, on the ground crews in the US, get together in groups, have fun, tell the anti-fun, anti-success, anti-impact, anti-anything positive folks you're too busy this week being pro-fun, pro-success, pro-impact, pro-building, pro-making a difference to pay attention to their nonsense. Wah, wah. Ah! You know what I mean? Like, you know what? You know who hollers the loudest? A hurt dog. Isn't that the saying? A hurt dog hollers the loudest, right? People are sharing publicly available information about a company who harmed them in the past, and then the company is trying to sweep it under the rug and then is crying about the anti-MLM community and trying to make them out to be these people who just want to... Like, no, bro. No, bro. It's just foolish. Now, I want to point out the ultimate clap back. So when they referred to Kimber as that woman on their director's meeting and whatever, and basically called her video internet noise and blah blah blah, like that. Her video is not internet noise, you guys. I am going to make sure you link it because Kimber did a good job of like going through it. Like, she has the legal background to be able to comprehend and explain some of these things to us. And like, I think that the company is scared. They're really scared, and they wouldn't ever like go after like a YouTube, like, you know what I mean? Like, big companies, like if somebody makes a video about like L'Oreal Paris or something, or like, you know, whatever, like they're like, I don't know, it's way too personal for these people. Like, it's way too personal, which leads you to believe that they're hiding something. So I want to read Kimber's ultimate clapback, a queen, we stan. So yeah, Kimber goes, "Hi Monat Global and Market Partners, I'm ready for my close-up. Why? So glad you asked. Bringing the 90s phrases back. Take a picture. It lasts longer, but not as long as my over an hour-long video reading your ABC word for word. I have a legal privilege to do so. It's the fair reporting privilege, and the public deserves to know the status and information inside the legal document. Yes, I stated it was my interpretation, but I did report it fairly and read it accurately. If the public takes it out of context, including your legal team, since they basically misquoted my words and misinformed their directors about the content of my video. Paragraphs matter. Before the claims, I mentioned that the Monat had to refrain from saying, I read this statement in the previous paragraph, unless the representation is non-misleading and at the time of making such representation, respondent possesses and relies upon competent and reliable scientific evidence that is sufficient in quality and quantity based on standards generally accepted in the relevant scientific fields, when considered in light of the entire body of relevant and reliable scientific evidence to substantiate that the representation is true. Wait. There's an actual definition for competent and reliable scientific evidence. It's defined as analyses, research, or studies, one, that have been conducted and evaluated in an objective manner by experts as to the relevant and health benefits, safety, performance, or efficacy to which the representation relates. Two, generally accepted by such experts to yield accurate and reliable results. And 3, that includes human clinical testing when such experts would generally require such human clinical testing to substantiate that the representation is true. Attorney General and respondents agree that competent and reliable scientific evidence shall be interpreted consistent with the FTC advertising substantiation standards as applied by the FTC and the courts. If they have this evidence, then yes, they can make those claims. Never said they couldn't. Continued in comments. But let's go back. Recall the paragraph says, unless the representation is non-misleading and at the time of making such representation, respondent possesses and relies upon competent and reliable scientific evidence, the non-misleading is the issue. That's the main thing market partners do. They are known to provide misleading information and statements. That was my main argument. You can't say the stuff we hear all the time. There's no science behind inaccurate claims that Monat cures alopecia or that it grows cancer patients' hair back. It's not okay. These are cosmetics. They don't cure anything. And I'm really glad their chief legal officer made that clear when they're a little behind the scenes. Made that clear and their little behind the scenes conversation about me. They did. They had a little conversation. He did touch on like alopecia. But like, you guys, those market partners literally say anything and we know that, right? But there's more. They also stated that I told the public that they were not allowed to say they're vegan. That's not what I said. The paragraph I read from said that they cannot say they're 100% vegan. And again, unless they can prove that is true, and the only argument I have against that is that they have what you call a proprietary blend inside a lot of their products. Since cosmetic composition is not regulated by any governmental body, there's no way for us to know what's inside their proprietary blends. These blends can definitely include ingredients that are not vegan. We will never know, and these regulatory bodies will not investigate any of the ingredients unless consumers make complaints. If there are enough complaints in these ingredients in the products, they will be investigated further, which I think that they are. I think that they've gone into a legal hold order in which they've had to like turn over like their scientific evidence, quote unquote. That's just my assumption based off of the most recent ABC and like what it says. And here's the paragraph. And as far as I'm concerned, I still hold the opinion that their products cannot be called 100% vegan. Can they be called vegan? Probably is. Can they be called vegan? Probably is every ingredient on the list on the bottle that's not in a blend is vegan. Here's the paragraph. Permanently refrain from misrepresenting or assisting others in misrepresenting in any manner, expressly or by implication, including through the use of product name, endorsement, depiction, or illustration, any material fact, including covered product does not and never will contain polyethylene glycol, petrochemicals, sulfate, harmful chemicals, and harmful colors. So if you remember from that 2019 litigation, it has gone on to show that that statement's not true, that they don't have any harsh chemicals in their thing. Like it's already said that like the court disagrees with Monat when they say that there isn't any of that stuff in there. So she goes on to say, again, there's clarifying paragraph prior to all of these examples. Misrepresentation is a major issue with market partners. They have a habit of misrepresenting the opportunity, benefits, the claims that they are making about the science behind the products, and so on and so forth. Anyone can read this document. It's totally clear what it is saying. Every time it mentions what they can't do, it clarifies what they're saying in the entire paragraph. If the legal team wants to read it out of context and take one sentence from my video and read that to the directors and say that I'm wrong, fine. But there are facts. So, yeah, there are facts. There are facts, and they're publicly available to you guys online. Again, I will link them down below.
Hi, everybody. So another break in the timeline today. Kimber just shared this on her personal Instagram page, and it was shared with her from the MLM Police. But I think it's really important that I include this in the video as well. So I am going to read this off for you here now. Okay, so my friend talked to the Florida Attorney General's lead investigator this morning. He said we have his full attention and his entire office has our full attention. It's important to note that in spite of the fact that the agreement has been signed, they are still very much under investigation. Email, Monat Complaints. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. We appreciate that you have considered the Attorney General's office as a source of assistance. By law, our office exercises statutory authority to enforce Chapter 501, Part 2, Florida statutes, known as Florida's Unfair and Deceptive Trade Practices Act. Our office focuses its enforcement efforts on business practices by companies which harm numerous consumers in more than one judicial circuit. We use complaints to develop information about patterns of business activity which may indicate the need for formal investigation or action by our office to protect the broad public interest. If you need help with our complaint line, please do not hesitate to contact me again. As discussed, our citizen service line is 1-866-966-7226. The online link can be followed through at myfloridalegal.com. General complaints. He implored me to encourage people to file complaints immediately with as much detail as possible regarding bad business practices, being lied to, being refused refunds, etc. He also told me that I needed to file a complaint as a victim because although I didn't use it or sold it, I am definitely a victim because of the treatment and the bullying and the threats that I have received from them. Being signed up for a VIP without knowing about it, being charged 2 years later for VIP shipment, being made a market partner without their knowledge. If this has happened to you or someone else before September 14th, file a complaint. They want all complaints. The class action lawsuits are completely separate. Victims are getting a refund based on bad business practices and being lied to in order to get them to buy or sell it or use it. The class action is a liability issue, and the Attorney General's office has nothing to do with liability. In regards to Monat and the market partners continuing to say that they are vegan, gluten-free, despite the AVC saying they can't say it, refer back to the signed AVC. They can't say it. Thanks to the MLM Police for this info.
All of the resources to make this video will be linked down below. I would advise that if you are anti-MLM and you'd like to stay on top of this issue, you can follow the MLM Police on Instagram, and you can also like her Facebook page. You can also follow Kimbyrleigha on Instagram, and you can also subscribe to her on YouTube. And I mean, obviously this is going to be my plug. You can follow me on Instagram, and I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel. So that's the tea, you guys, that's kind of going on right now between like an actual corporation and people within the anti-MLM community who are doing like their legal right to share publicly available information online. And it's not a secret that Monat has used intimidation tactics against former market partners. And I don't think it would be so far as to say that they are using some of those intimidation tactics now. It's really obvious that Stuart McMillan is pretty peeved with the anti-MLM community, judging off of his most recent Instagram posts. And I don't want to say that it was Mr. Tom Houlihan that was privately messaging the MLM Police. But it's very suspicious if you ask me. It's very, very suspicious if you ask me. And I would love for somebody to answer to that.
And that's on period.
But yeah, this video might not be as funny as some of my other ones, but you know what? There's just like a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. And my big goal here today is that like my big goal here today is to like resonate with people who are maybe within Monat, who are like blinded by the way that these leaders are acting and the way that they're deflecting what's going on, and maybe you like hadn't deeply looked into some of these legal court documents, and had you looked into them, you might not have joined Monat, or you might not have been a market partner. But also people who are considering joining Monat. And then also I think that like people need to know like how unethically the people at the top are running this company, and the things that they are trying to do to keep some of this bad news out of the media, and how they intentionally try to reframe their losses as wins. And it's not boring legal stuff, you guys. This is not boring legal stuff. This is real people's lives, like real people's lives who have been like Monat has brought bodily harm to people, like lost a lot of their hair. Like you saw in my last video, like you actually had market partners advising people that if their scalp was like splitting and they were getting blisters, to just keep using the products. And it even states in one of the litigations pieces or whatever that they were advised to continue using Monat for at least 90 days, even through this detox process, or it wasn't even a detox, but they were experiencing severe allergic and like contact dermatitis, like reactions and things like that. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of the tea that is spilt in this video. What do you guys think about that secret Instagram messaging the MLM police? What do you guys think about higher ups within Monat, like Stuart McMillan, like following the MLM police online, making those posts, trying to add her as a personal friend on Facebook to like not like her anti-MLM account, but like they know of her personally and trying to add her personally. I think it's crazy, you guys. I think that shit's crazy. But yeah, I just want, you know, my goal is to get this information out there as much as we can, and for people to know, again, how badly these people do not want this information to come out. And I think that's something that goes to be said. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. What do you guys think of the tea? Do you think it's hot? Because I think it's, as always, you guys are so valued, so appreciated. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified every time I post a video. I know this is probably going to be really long, and if you guys stuck around for the tea, like, thanks. You guys are always appreciated. Love you guys till the end. And again, yeah, thanks. Bye.